today's video, I'll be comparing the 5 best secret units to a fully maxed out shiny Wumbo 5-star level 100 Neptune Scrub mega-hydra Karen to see if one exotic can beat 5 of the best secrets in SpongeBob Tower Defense. For the secret team loadout, each unit will be level 30 and it'll have secret formula on them too, just to make this a little bit more fair. So make sure you watch until the end to see which team wins. And with that any more waiting, let me first begin by listing out every single secret we'll be using before we move on to the exotic round. Starting with the Gary, spongehenge, slinging slasher, cyborg plankton, and finally the brand new dungeon secret. At the moment I am missing the brand new exotic shiny Wumbo maxed out version and the dungeon, but for the others I do have all of them. So real quick, we are just gonna hop over to Training Plaza to get the 2 units I'm missing. Here we go. And okay, now that we're actually in the Training Plaza, all we have to do is wait for our friend EXO to actually join the server because he has both of the units we're missing. And yep, there we go. His actual display name is Rango, but he did end up joining. Here's his username at the very bottom right here. He's literally level 8,751. But there we go, we sent him a trade, he accepted, and yeah, there's the maxed out mega-hydra Karen number 857 and the level 30 dungeon master that we also need. He readied up, we'll ready up ourselves, and yeah, huge shout out to you, bro. Huge shout out to EXO, much love, bro. Literally messaged him, and within a minute he responded, so there we go. We got the other 2 units we're missing now as well. And just to make this even more maxed out, we're going to be bringing the best farm in the game, as well as some sort of jellyfish jam units, so our barnacle boy probably. Just so we can even boost the cooldown even more than it's already boosted. Oh yeah, in yesterday's video, I completely forgot that we had Psychic on it, so I could have placed 2. So definitely expect it to get even further than yesterday's video. Anyway, yeah, there's our entire team fully equipped it out, and let's just see exactly how far I can get on Endless Mode right away on Concentrate Endless Mode A. Here we go. And obviously, for this one game and the next round after this, we'll make sure to fully auto-skip the entire time on 5 times game speed. And I decided to also just bring an elastic waistband with us just to act as a starting and just to take care of all the early game stuff while we farm our Krusty Krabs up. In fact, by wave 3, we were able to place both of them, and we are able to get both of them to at least level 3 by wave 5. By wave 6, we can max out our first of 2 and our second of 2 as well. Nice. Yeah, now it is most definitely time to place down the mega-hydra Karen exactly right over this way in 3, 2, 1, and boom, place it. Yeah, what an insane unit, bro. It is so giant. Anyway, on level 0, it's doing 216,600 damage, has a 0.5 second cooldown and a 99 range. And if you guys didn't see yesterday's video, this ability literally does upwards of 12 million damage instantly once you click it. It's so good. Anyway, we can just definitely instantly max out the mega-hydra Karen, and when maxed out, it does 387,600 damage every 0.5 seconds, and has 129 range on it too. And unlike yesterday's video, we definitely will be actually placing that in a second right behind it right over here, I guess. Just to make sure we can maximize the amount of damage we do possible. So yeah, let's just instantly max out the second one just like that. And then we can just sell our starter unit since we don't really need that anymore either. And we'll place down one of our, what are they called? Oh yeah, the barnacle boys over that way. Just to make sure we can boost the amount of cooldown both of these units do. Now we need to figure out exactly how much damage these guys are going to do in a second, and then multiply by 2 to see exactly how much damage we're doing in a second. So if we put a calculator just like that and do 387,600 divided by that 0.3 second cooldown, we're looking at 1.292 million damage per one. And then times that by 2, which is how much we're doing in a second. We're doing roughly 2.5 million damage every single second. That is so good. Yeah, wow. Oh my goodness, bro. I don't even know how these secrets are going to be able to beat this. This is kind of crazy. Anyway, now that we have all that out of the way, and now that both of them are fully maxed out, we'll definitely test out to see if we can use multiple abilities at once. Because if we can, that makes these units even better. Anyway, for now, we'll just fully focus on every single dirty bubble that spawns in for now. Starting with our first medium-sized dirty bubble with 6,000 spawning on wave 39 dying right here, and boom, now we already made it to wave 40. On wave 43 is when our next giant dirty bubble actually spawns in, so yep, there we go. We made it to wave 43, and here comes the giant dirty bubble right then and there. This time with 11,000 health instantly dying over this way still. Now we're only 3 waves away from wave 50 though. And now that we're 2 waves away, we have another small dirty bubble dying right here. And now we're only 1 wave away from wave 50, and boom, now we also made it to wave 50. Also, oh my goodness, I am so stupid. I didn't even realize. I didn't even show you guys what the calculator was. Oh my goodness, that is very embarrassing. Yeah, hold on, let me redo it on screen, that way I can show you guys exactly what I just did. So basically, I did 387,600, and then I did that number divided by 0.3, because that's the cooldown it has. So yeah, we do roughly 1.29 million damage per one, and then times that by 2 to get the total amount we're doing. We're doing roughly 2.5 million damage every single second. Yeah, my bad, I completely forgot to show you guys what I was doing. Whoops. Anyway, now we also made it past wave 60, and on wave 62 we had a small dirty bubble die right here, and on wave 67 now we're 3 waves away from wave 70, and we had a medium-sized dirty bubble die over this way, but now we're only 2 waves away from wave 80, 70, 1 wave away, and boom, now we made it there too. Wave 71 is when our next giant one was 16,000 health spawns in, and this time it died over here though. And on wave 76 we had another smaller one die over this way. Now we're only 3 waves away from wave 80 though, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we also made it to wave 80. On wave 81 we had a medium-sized one with almost 20,000 health die over this way. And this time on wave 85 we have our next giant one spawning in 2, so yeah, here it comes in 3, 2, 1, and boom. Yep, this one actually had over 20,000 health, but either way, it still dies automatically in the very front over this way. Now we're only 3 waves away from wave 90 though, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we also made it to wave 90 on the dot, and actually on wave 190 we have our next small dirty bubble, which is the final one before we make it to wave 100, still dying over here, but now we're officially 5 waves away from wave 100, and we had our final medium-sized dirty bubble spawn in 2. Now we're only 4 waves away from wave 100 though, 3 waves away, 2 away, 1 away, and boom, now we also made it to wave 100 on the dot after we took out that final giant dirty bubble right then and there. Very nice. On wave 103 though, we have our first small dirty bubble to spawn in after wave 100, this time with 12,000 health, still dying automatically right here. And now we're only 3 waves away from wave 110. Now we're only 2 waves away though, and actually on wave 109 I'm pretty sure, oh never mind, wait, yep, there it is right then and there, another medium-sized one died right this way. And boom, now we made it to wave 110. Our next giant dirty bubble will spawn in on wave 113 though, so yeah, see you guys in around 2 waves now as well. On wave 113, there goes our final giant dirty bubble before we make it to wave 120, still dying right here. And now we're only 3 waves away from wave 120, and here comes our next small dirty bubble spawning in on this wave too, but now we're only 2 waves away from wave 120, and there goes it right there. But now we're only 1 wave away from wave 120, and bang, now we made it past wave 120 as well. On wave 123 though, we had another medium-sized one still automatically die in the very front. And on wave 127 we have another giant, or I guess it's probably a medium-sized one spawning on this wave, but now we're 3 waves away from wave 130, and yep, there it goes. But now we're only 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and nice, there we go. Now we also made it to wave 130. On wave 132 we had a smaller one die right here. And on wave 137 we had a medium-sized one and a die one in the very front, but now we're 3 waves away from wave 140, and now we're only 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we officially made it to wave 140 as well. On wave 141 is when our next giant one spawns in, this time with 42,000 health, still dying right here. But on wave 145 we have another smaller one still dying in the very front over this way too. Now we're 3 waves away from wave 150 though, and now we're only 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, nice, there we go. We also made it to wave 150 on the dot. On wave 151 though, we had a medium-sized one die in the front too. And on wave 155 we had a giant one die in the very front over here as well. Yeah, so far so good. We're still instantly able to take out basically everything spawning in so far, which is definitely a good accomplishment, as now we're only 3 waves away from wave 160, and now we're only 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, now we also made it there too, on the dot, finally, as soon as it skips, just like that. There goes a final, oh my goodness, what am I even saying at this point? There goes another small dirty bubble right there, and another medium dirty bubble right there. And on wave 169, we also have a giant one spawning with 60,000 health, still dying in the very front over this way, just like the other 2 versions. Anyway, now we also passed wave 170 on the dot too, meaning we're already closing in on wave 200. And this time the next small dirty bubble is still dying in the front. But on wave 179 we had another medium-sized one die right here, and boom, now that we defeated that, we also made it to wave 180. On wave 183 though, we have our next giant one spawning in, so yeah, this one should have almost 70,000 health if I were to guess. In fact, yep, there it is with 72,000. Still dying right here though, which is a little bit crazy considering it's literally been over 180 waves and they still have not even been able to make it much past this AoE, or I guess this splash circle right here. Now we're only 3 waves away from wave 190 though, so we're getting super close to wave 200. But now we're only 2 waves away from wave 190, and there goes another smaller dirty bubble, the final one before we make it to wave 200. But now we're only 1 one wave away from wave 190. And bang, now we also made it to wave 190. On wave 193, we had our final medium-sized one spawn in before we make it to wave 200. And now we're 5 waves away from wave 200, as well as 4 waves away. And 3 waves away. And there goes our final giant dirty bubble with over 80,000 health before we make it to wave 200. In fact, yeah, now we're 2 waves away from wave 200. And 1 wave away. And bang, now we made it there too. On wave 202, we had another small dirty bubble instantly die right here, as well as another medium-sized dirty bubble with 55,000 health dying over this way. Now we're 3 waves away from wave 210, 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, there's also wave 210. On wave 211 though, we had a giant one die over here, and on wave 216 we had a smaller one die over here. You guessed it, we're 3 waves away from wave 220, 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, just like that we also made it to wave 220 now as well. On wave 221 we had a medium-sized one die in the front, and on wave 225 we had a giant one reaching over 125,000 health still die right here. But now we're 3 waves away from wave 230, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, there we go. Now we also made it to wave 230. There goes our final small dirty bubble before we actually made it to wave 230 though. And this time by wave 235 we had a medium-sized dirty bubble die right this way still. But even the normal slow anchovies and even the normal anchovies are even making it further than the bosses somehow. Yeah, now we're 3 waves away from wave 240, but I'll show you guys what I mean when the next giant one spawns in. Now we're only 2 waves away. But yeah, like look, these guys are even making it all the way over here, and now we're only 1 wave away from wave 240, but there's the giant one and it instantly dies right this way. That would feel a little bit strange for sure, but at least now we made it to wave 240. And then wave 244, we had a small dirty bubble die right here, as well as another medium-sized one with almost 100,000 I'll die right this way. But bang, now we made it to wave 250 on the dot, meaning we're a fourth of the way there to wave 1,000, which is definitely our goal with this round. But on wave 253, we had a smaller one die over here, and now we're 3 waves away from wave 260, and here comes another smaller one dying over this way for some reason. Anyway, now we're 2 waves away from wave 260, and now we're 1 wave away, and boom, now we also made it to wave 260. On wave 263, we had a medium-sized one die right here, and now we're only 3 waves away from wave 270, but we have a giant one spawning on this wave too with 200,000 health still dying right here. Wow, even 268 waves later, still nothing can even get past these Krusty Krabs over this way, which is honestly a little bit shocking. You would assume by now at least some enemies would start making it over here, but still no. Anyway, now we also passed wave 270, and on wave 272 we had a smaller one die over here, and on wave 277 we had a medium-sized one die over this way, but now we're 3 waves away from wave 280, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, there's wave 280 on the dot. On wave 281, we had another small dirty bubble, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe that was the giant one. I honestly lost track. But on wave 286, we do have another smaller one, so I'm assuming that was the giant dirty bubble. Now we're 3 waves away from wave 290, meaning we're already getting super close to wave 300. In fact, yeah, now we're only 1 wave away. And bang, there's wave 290. On wave 291, we had a medium-sized dirty bubble die right here. And now we're officially only 5 waves away from wave 300. Actually, on wave 295, we have another giant dirty bubble spawning in with over 300,000 still dying right here. And now we're only 4 waves away from wave 300. And now we're only 3 waves away. And 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, there we go. Now we also made it to wave 300. Yeah, now that we made it to wave 300, I think I'm definitely done commentating over all these small dirty bubbles that spawned in like that one that just spawned in. And instead, I think we'll stick to all the medium-sized ones that spawn in like that one on wave 305. And every single time a giant one spawns in like that one over here. Now we also made it to wave 310 though. But on wave 319, we have another medium-sized one finally starting to make some progress dying right here. Now we also made it to wave 320 though. And on wave 323, we have a giant one spawning with 450,000 still dying right here though. But boom, now we also made it to wave 330. On wave 333 though, we had another giant dirty bubble dying right here. Or sorry, no, that was the medium-sized one. But now we're 30 waves away from wave 340, and we have another giant one spawning on this wave too, this time with 540,000 still dying right here. But now we're only 2 waves away from wave 340, 1 wave away, and boom, now we also made it to wave 340, as well as wave 350. Finally, by wave 351, we have that was a giant one spawning with 648,000 still dying right here though. And on wave 361, we had a medium-sized one die right here, and yeah, we already passed wave 360 at this point as well. Finally, by wave 365, we had a giant one spawning with almost 800,000 still die right here instantly to every single one of these mega-hydras. But now we're 3 waves away from wave 370, 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, there's wave 370 on the dot. Finally, by wave 375 though, we had another medium-sized one die right here. And now we're only 3 waves away from wave 380. And 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, there we go. Now we officially made it to wave 380 now that we took out that next giant dirty bubble. Nice. Followed by wave 389, though, we get our next medium-sized one that right here with almost 5, or I guess a little bit more than 500,000 health. But nice, now we officially made it to wave 390. On wave 393 is when our final giant dirty bubble spawns in before we make it to wave 400, so I guess I'll just see you guys in one wave. Alright, boom, there we go. Now we officially made it to wave 393, and there's the giant dirty bubble reaching over 1 million health. Wow. We were still able to defeat it easily right over this way, though. I literally could not get past this point, but now we're 5 waves away from wave 400, and 4 waves away, 3 waves away, 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, we actually ended up making it to wave 400 with literally no problems whatsoever. Wow. Still though, even by wave 430, we had our next medium-sized dirty bubble reaching over 700,000 health, still dying right here. And on wave 47, we have our next giant one spawning with 1.3 million health, die right here. Now we also made it to wave 410 though. And on wave 416 or either 417, we have our next medium-sized one. So there goes that one with 850,000 health, still dying right here. But now we're 3 waves away from wave 420. And 2 waves away, 1 wave away. And boom, nice. Now we also made it to wave 420. On wave 421, we have our next giant one spawning with over 1.5 million health. So yeah, there's that one with 1.6 million finally gained right here. So at least after around 420 waves, finally some of the enemies are starting to get slightly further over this way. About time for sure. Jeez. Anyway, now we also made it to wave 430 already, meaning we're about to be 70 waves away from being halfway to wave 500, but there goes our next medium-sized one dying right here, as well as another giant one spawning with almost 2 million health dying over this way this time. So yeah, even past Patrick's house too. I think soon enough we definitely will have to start using some of these abilities like this one right here, just so we can clear out stuff a little bit quicker, but now we're 3 waves away from wave 430, and 2 waves away from wave 440, 1 wave away, and boom, just like that, now we made it to wave 440. On wave 445 though, we had another medium-sized one die right here. So even the medium-sized ones are also starting to make it slightly further too. I'm pretty sure by wave 449 though, yep, here comes our next giant one with this time with over 2 million. Now some for some reason dying even quicker this time right here though. But boom, now we made it to wave 450. This time on wave 459 though, we have our next medium-sized one with over 1.4 million, getting even past Patrick's house right here. Or sorry, no, this is not Patrick's house. I meant the Krusty Krab. But boom, now we made it past wave 460. And on wave 463, I'm pretty sure is when our next giant one spawns in. So yep, there we go. We made it to wave 460, and there it is. This time with almost 3 million health, and this time it's finally starting to get destroyed right over this way, right about here. Yeah, unfortunately for this round, we don't have really a slower unit, since all we really could bring was the only exotic in the game. We couldn't really bring the Dream Gary like we did in yesterday's video. But either way, I think we're still confidently going to be able to beat these secrets, as now we're 3 waves away from wave 470, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we made it to wave 470. On wave 472 though, we have our next medium-sized one with 1.7 million health, still dying right in front of the Krusty Krab. And now we're only 3 waves away from wave 480, but now we even have enemies making it somewhat far, so yeah, I think soon enough we are gonna have to start using the abilities. My guess is that next time is when we'll start using them. In fact, yeah, this giant dirty bubble died over all the way over here, but now we're 2 waves away from wave 480, and 1 wave away, and bang, now we made it to wave 480. By wave 486 though, we have our next medium-sized dirty bubble spawning in, and this will be the final one we commentate over with 2 million health still dying right here. And boom though, now we made it to wave 490. And on wave 491, we have our final giant dirty bubble before we make it to wave 500 spawning in. So if here comes it right then and there with 4 million health on it. Which luckily it really shouldn't be too big of a problem, as now it's down to 2 million health, 1 million, and yet this time it's gonna die right over this way. Not too bad at all, I'll take it. Now we're officially only 5 waves away from wave 500 though, and 4 waves away, and yeah, now I'm definitely done commentating over all those small dirty balls like that one right there. But now we're 3 waves away from wave 500, as well as 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, wave 500 on the dot, meaning we're officially halfway to wave 1000. Yeah, now I think I'm done commentating over all those medium-sized ones as well, like that one right there. So I think instead we're only going to focus on all the giant ones that spawn in for now, and every single time we make it to wave 510, 520, etc. Starting with this next giant dirty bubble almost reaching 5 million, so yeah, now it's definitely about time to use an ability. We definitely want to make sure we're able to take care of everything fairly easily, and nice, okay, so you can use 2 abilities at once. That's really helpful, good to know. Yeah, this time this next giant 30 ball died over this way, and now we're about to be 3 waves away from 510 just like that. But yeah, that's actually super helpful that you can use 2 abilities every single round. That's actually super good. Now we're 2 waves away from wave 510 though, and 1 wave away, and boom, nice. Now we also made it to wave 510. Here we go though, on wave 519, I'm pretty sure, yep, here comes our next giant one, this time with 5 million health on it, so yep, let's use our ability once more, just like that. And we might as well just instantly use the second one too, to make sure we instantly clear out the giant 30 ball right then and there with 5.7 million health over this way. But boom, now we made it to wave 520, as well as wave 530 on the dot as well. Yeah, I think every single time one of these like big slow anchovies get on by, I think it might be smart for us to just use one of our abilities just to take care of all these speedy guys. And we might as well just use the second to clear out everything else that's getting super far too. Yeah, that was definitely worth doing. Unfortunately though, we have another few speedy anchovies making it all the way back here. But we should be able to get our ability back once more just to instantly take the wave 533 boss as soon as this big slow anchovy dies, just like that. Boom, gone. Yeah, wow, 6.9 million health instantly evaporated just like that. That is so good. Now we already passed wave 540 though. And before things get too chaotic, I think we'll just use an ability here just to wipe out everything so we're back to basically spawn killing. And I think the strat is once enemies start getting over to this corner right here, that's when you use the ability a second time just like that. But if it's like a speedy anchovy, then you want to use it a little bit earlier, just like this, just to instantly clear out that giant 30 bubble too. But boom, now we also made it to wave 550, as well as wave 560. Yeah, well, I'm not gonna lie, if we didn't have these abilities, we would have been cooked long ago for sure, no doubt about it. I mean, here comes our next giant 30 bubble, so we might as well just pop the ability once more to instantly take out that one with almost 10 million health on it. But I mean, yeah, yet again, it was a super easy boss to defeat, so now let's see us by wave 560, or 570, my bad. Alright, boom, yeah, there we go. Now we officially made it to wave 570. And then wave 575, we have another giant one with 570, or how much health? Oh yeah, almost 12 million. And I want to see, are we able to take this out normally? I mean, yeah, obviously we are going to be able to. That was so easy, yeah. This time it's going to die over this way. And we didn't have to use a single ability on it whatsoever. Now we're only 3 waves away from wave 580 though. And 2 waves away, 1 wave away. And boom, now we made it to wave 580. Oh shoot, I have not been keeping up with the abilities. Oops, I should not have done that. Alright, well it looks like we're finally going to take our first bit of damage just because I made a mistake. But wait, hold up, maybe not. Yeah, I think we can get away with not taking any damage. But yeah, there we go. We used the ability last second. And we can just use it a second time just like that to take care of all of those. And yeah, no wait, even though we were completely late on using the abilities, we still took out the next giant 30 ball right here. And boom, now we made it to wave 590. Now we're only 3 waves away from wave 600 though, and now we're only 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, somehow, someway, we actually ended up making it to wave 600. That is crazy good, wow. But yeah, the stupid targeting isn't targeting anything in the actual front. That is so stupid. Bro, we're literally gonna die because of that. Are you actually kidding me? We're down to 63 health because it wasn't targeting what's actually in first. What the actual heck is going on with this stupid game, bro? I swear, their targeting actually sucks so much. I mean, at least we're just barely alive at the moment, but we are definitely not hanging on by much, but at least we aren't going to take any extra damage just like that. But unfortunately, by wave 600, we are down to 63 health. Now we already made it past wave 610 though. But like, look, as soon as I start focusing on where I'm actually supposed to use my abilities at, I'm easily able to wipe through everything easily. Oh, never mind. I might have spoken a little bit too soon. Now we have another speedy anchovy getting on past, and it looks like, yep, that one's now we're down to 55 health. But at least we're somewhat still just barely hanging on, and now we made it to wave 617 with our next giant one, but unfortunately it looks like we're going to take even more damage. Yeah, dang, now we're already down to 47 health. This is definitely not looking the best for us anymore. In fact, well, yeah, I think we're literally just dead here. There's no way we're going to be able to take out all this stuff, so yeah, now we're going to be down to a total of, oh no. Oh no, we're so dead. Wait, come on, 10 seconds. Come on, let me use my ability. Let me use it. Dang. Okay, wait, we're still alive. No way. Yeah, now we're down to 47 health on wave 617. But at least now we made it to wave 620, as well as wave 630. Yeah, unfortunately at this point, yet again, we are just barely hanging on. In fact, we already took another 8 damage, so now we're down to 39 health. But at least we're somewhat managing with taking out everything that's spawning in right now, including all these enemies back here. So it seems like just for this given moment, we are going to be able to stay alive at least a little bit longer. As long as we're able to take out this... Wait, hold on. Yo. No, 10 seconds. No. Oh my goodness. We are down to 4 health on our base. If a single another enemy gets on fire, we are officially dead. No doubt about it. Oh, hell no. Well, at least we made it well past wave 600. I definitely cannot be complaining about that. If we had some AoE units on top of this, like if we did a full loadout with the best possible team, we definitely would be able to at least make it to wave 800, if not higher. It just sucks that we don't really have those units at the moment, but maybe for a future video we can do something along the lines of that. That would be super cool. Anyway, boom, there we go. Now we officially made it to wave 640. But oh boy, we have to wait 40 seconds till we get any ability back, and we have a big slow and speedy engine. We're getting all the way over here. Come on, come on, come on. No! GG's. Wow. 52 minutes of playtime, almost 2 billion damage done in total, 6.87 million money earned, 644 waves completed, 6,000 takedowns, and 5 units placed. What a crazy round. Dang. Well, let's finally return to lobby. Jeez, that took forever. And yep, after both games, we'll definitely have a leaderboard up on screen for how far each team got, and right now Team Exotic is in first place with 644 waves beaten. Finally, last up on the list, we definitely do have to test out all these secret units that I listed out in the beginning of the video. So there's the level 30 secret formula Hatchling and Slasher, the level 30 Dream Gary with secret formula, the level 30 Dungeon Master with secret formula, the level 30 Cyborg Plankton with secret formula, and unfortunately at the moment I don't have a level 30 spongehenge with secret formula, but I'm pretty sure we can feed this guy up all the way to level 30 fairly easily. Yeah, wow, we literally can add all the food that we need to, but obviously we aren't going to do that, and instead we're going to think about which food we add. So yeah, I mean, I guess we'll just add all these tubs of mayonnaise right there. Yep, I just turned on my auto-clicker, and let's just start auto-clicking. Oops, not those right there. Actually, wait, nah, these aren't limited. We'll just auto-delete all the jelly patties. Who cares about those, really? There we go, though. It's level 20 now, level 27, level 28, level 29, and boom, finally level 30 after over 2 million XP is added just like that. Oh, hell no, what a waste of food, but whatever, it's for the video. So who really cares at the end of the day? I do it for you guys and you guys only. Boom, 2 million XP added. Now we just need to roll secret formula on it, which hopefully won't be too hard considering I do have a decent amount of our trade rolls already. In fact, wait, how many do I actually have right now? Yeah, I have 293 normals and 50 goldens. So let's just re-roll on this until we finally do end up re-rolling on it. Yeah, let me just ignore everything else, but yeah, we'll just keep only secret formulas. So yeah, here we go. Let's re-roll until we get it. Hopefully it doesn't take too long at all. I mean, we'll see. Yeah, we're already 20 down. We still have yet to get anything. Honestly, I might as well just pull on an auto-clicker. That way we can click through it even quicker. And let's see, will we actually land on secret formula with our normal ones? I mean, I feel like we're basically guaranteed to at one point. But then we've already rolled over Scurvy, we've already rolled over countless of the Pursuits, countless of the Jellyfish Jams, countless of the Scholars. And dang, we're already below 200 as well as 150. And dang, no way, we're also about to go below 100. Wait, what? What is going on? Why can't I get secret formula? What the heck? Oh my goodness, we're already down to 50 of these guys. Wait, yo, give me a secret formula. Are you kidding me? Alright, there we go. We finally ended up getting it with only 32 left. Jeez, that was close. But yeah, there's our entire team of full level 30 units fully equipped it out. And let's just see exactly how far this team can get on Endless Mode once more on the exact same map. Let's do this. And yeah, for this game as well, we'll make sure to fully auto-skip just like the last round too. But unfortunately for this round, we're definitely gonna have to be a little bit smarter for how we upgrade things, because yeah, the cheapest is literally $2,500. Luckily, now that it's skipped to wave 5, we can afford to place in the Dream Gear, which is exactly what we did. So we should be able to stay alive at least a little bit longer, which is super helpful because that gives us enough money to fully max out all of our farms just like that. Unfortunately, it did take 2 extra waves, but that's not too big of a deal, and we might as well just start by maxing out the cyborg plankton right here. Because already on level 0, it's doing 10,320 damage. It has a total of a 0.5 second cooldown and then 45 range on it. Either way, there's it to level 1, 2, 3, 4, and finally level 5. Yeah, Woodmax that does 20,640 damage every 0.4 seconds and has 60 range. Yeah, this is literally the perfect spot to place as well, because as you can see, it just barely reaches this corner over this way. It rarely reaches this corner too. And it reaches this back portion over this way as well. Yeah, this is literally the most ideal place to place the cyborg plankton. Anyway, now that we have that out of the way, we can definitely place down our Dream Gary over that way as soon as we saw this older one over here. Because this is also one of the most ideal spots to place the Dream Gary, because as you can see, Windmax reaches this corner just barely, all this area over that way, and it basically can spawn kill too. Windmax out though does 14,970 damage, has a 0.5 second cooldown, and then 54 range on it. Third on the list though, we might as well max out the spongehenge, which for now we'll just place right next to the cyborg plankton over that way and instantly max it out. Because when maxed out, this one does 86,800 or 688 damage, has a 0.5 second cooldown as well, and then 66.6 range. Second to last on the list, we might as well also max out the slinging slasher, which we'll just place right about here probably. And yeah, let's see how much range this one gets when maxed out. Alright, not too bad, 58. It doesn't have full map coverage, but it does reach the majority of the map because when maxed out does 72,756 damage, has a 0.4 second cooldown, and then 58 range. Last but not least, we can doubly max out the Dungeon Master, which actually seems to do piercing damage, so we'll also place it right behind the cyborg plankton. And yeah, when maxed out does 180,870 damage, has a 0.6 second cooldown, and then 80 range on it. That'll be a very super tanky unit for sure, because it literally has full map coverage. But now that we're fully maxed out, we are finally good to commentate over every single wave that spawns in. And the wave to be is obviously wave 644, so hopefully we're able to do so. Actually, real quick before we do any of that, I definitely want to calculate exactly how much damage we're doing in a second. But before we do that, here's our first giant dirty bubble with 11,000 health instantly dying over this way. Alright, now that we have that out of the way, let's just start by calculating the cyborg plankton. So if we pull out a calculator just like that and we do 20,640 divided by the 0.4 second cooldown, we get 51,600 damage from the cyborg plankton. Now when we move on to, let's just do the spongehenge next. And we pull out another calculator and do 86,688 divided by a 0.5 second cooldown. This one's doing 173,376 damage a second. Next up though, if we do the slinging slasher damage, which is 72,756, and we do that divided by the 0.4 second cooldown it has, this one's doing 181,890 damage a second. Second to last on the list, we might as well also calculate the Dream Gary, which we're honestly just going to put one calculator on the screen just so it fits properly. And we can do 14,970 divided by 0.5, and we get roughly almost 30,000 damage a second from this one. Last but not least, let's just calculate the amount of damage the Dungeon Master is doing. So if we do 180,000 damage, 870, divided by the 0.6 second cooldown as, yeah, this one's doing 300, oh my goodness, that's actually quite a lot, jeez. Yeah, dang, I did not expect it to do this much damage whatsoever. But now we need to add up every single calculator all at once. And now that we have all 5 open on the screen, let's first order them on from least to most amount of damage. And yep, now that they're basically ordered all properly just like that, we can definitely put one main calculator on the main front just like this. And if we do 29,940 plus 51,600 plus 173,376 plus 181,890 plus 301,450, we're looking at roughly a total of 738,256 damage a second. Now, that's not all. This is just with the level 30 stats. If we add in the amount of damage that they're actually doing in a second, since they're on 5 times game speed, we're looking at roughly almost 1.5 million damage a second, which is honestly really close to how much the exotic is doing. Not to mention some of these guys are actually doing full AoE damage or even just piercing damage, which is even better than Splash. So theoretically, this team could be doing almost as much damage, if not more damage than that unit in total. I mean, I guess we'll see long term, as now we're already 3 waves away from wave 100. But now we're only 2 waves away from wave 100, 1 wave away, and boom, just like that, since we took this final giant dirty bubble with 24,000 health in the very front over that way, we made it to wave 100. Yeah, that was honestly fairly easily. I didn't expect to make it there that quickly for sure, but I mean, to be fair, we were commentating over every single stat of these guys, so it makes sense that these time passed that quickly. Anyway, on wave 103, we have our first small dirty bubble that we're going to be commentating over with 12,000 health instantly dying right here. And now we're only 3 waves away from wave 110, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, there is another medium-sized one over this way too, and nice. Now we also made it to wave 110. On wave 113 though, we have our next giant dirty bubble spawning in, so yep, there we go, we made it to wave 113, and there it is. That time with almost 30,000 health, still dying in the very front over here. Now we're only 3 waves away from wave 120 though, and now that we're 2 waves away, we actually have another medium-sized dirty bubble spawning with 14,000 health dying right here. But now we're only 1 wave away from wave 120, and boom, now we made it there as well. On wave 123, we had a giant one spawning in and instantly dying over this way. And this time on wave 127, we had our next medium-sized one die over here. Now we're only 2 waves away from wave 130 though, and 1 wave away. And boom, just like that, now we made it to wave 130. And actually, that was probably our giant dirty bubble that spawned in. So yeah, now we have a small dirty bubble, 17,000. I'll die right here. As well as another medium-sized dirty bubble in wave 137 die over this way. But boom, now we also made it to wave 140. On wave 141, we had a giant one die right here. As well as another wave 146 medium-sized dirty bubble die over this way. Now we're 3 waves away from wave 150 though, and now we're only 2 waves away as well as 1 wave away. And boom, now we finally made it to wave 150. On wave 151, we had a medium-sized one die over this way though. And on wave 155, we had a giant one spawning with over 50,000. I'll still immediately die over this way. Now we're only 3 waves away from wave 160 though. And 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, now we made it there too. There goes another small dirty bubble with almost 25,000. I'll die right there. As well as another medium-sized dirty bubble die over this way. But now we're only 3 waves away from wave 170 and 2 waves away. 1 wave away. And boom, now we made it to wave 170 on the dot now that we took out that next giant dirty bubble over here. On wave 174 though, we had a smaller one die over this way. And on wave 170 now we had a medium-sized one die right here. But boom, now we also made it to wave 180. On wave 183 we had a giant one die right here though. And on wave 180 we had another smaller one die over this way. Now we finally made it to wave 190 though, meaning we're 10 waves away from wave 200. But on wave 193 we had a final small one die over this way. As well as a medium-sized one actually spawned on that wave too. But boom, now we're 3 waves away from wave 200 on the dot. And here comes our final giant one with 87,000. I'll die right this way. But now we're only 2 waves away from wave 200. 1 wave away. And bang, now we finally made it to wave 200 on the dot. This time on wave 207 though, we have our next medium-sized one die over here, meaning we already took out another smaller one. And boom, now we already made it to wave 210. On wave 211 is when another smaller one spawns in. Oh, never mind, that's a giant one spawning in with 104,000. I'll still dying over this way. And another smaller one died over here too. Now we're only 3 waves away from wave 220 though. And 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we made it to wave 220. On wave 221, we had a medium-sized one die right this way, as well as another giant one dying over here. But now we're 3 waves away from wave 230, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we also made it to wave 230 on the dot as soon as we take that small dirty bubble dying right here. Nice. On wave 235, we had a medium-sized one die right here though. And I'm pretty sure on wave 239 is when another giant one spawns in. This one should have over 125,000. So yeah, there it is with 150,000 right this way. Yeah, another super easy boss to defeat. And now we made it to wave 240. And for the final time ever this video, we have a small dirty bubble dying right this way, and that's going to be the final one we commentate over. And I'm pretty sure on wave 248, we have another medium-sized one, almost with 100,000, all dying right this way. On the dot though, now we officially made it to wave 250. But on wave 253, we had a giant one spawn in and die over this way with 181,000 health. But now I think I'm officially done commentating over all these small dirty bubble bosses that spawn, since they don't really ever make it anywhere. Like look, this next one will spawn in any second now just like that, and it just immediately dies over this way every single time. We already did pass wave 260 though. And on wave 263, we had a medium-sized one die over this way. And on wave 267, we had a giant one die over this way with 200,000 health. But now we're 2 waves away from wave 270, 1 wave away, and boom, now we made it to wave 270. On wave 277, we had another medium-sized one die right here, but now we're 3 waves away from wave 280, and now we're only 2 waves away, and 1 wave away, and boom, there we go. Now we also made it to wave 280. Now we already made it past wave 290 though, and actually on wave 293, I'm pretty sure is when our next giant one spawns in. Oh wait, no, this next giant one actually spawns on wave 295, my bad. Yep, there it is right there with 312,000. I'll still dying over this way, and now we're 5 waves away from wave 300, and now we're only 4 waves away. And 3 waves away, 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, there we go. Now we officially made it to wave 300, and now I'm done commentating over all these small dirty balls, still like that one that just spawned in, as well as every single medium-sized dirty ball that spawns in like that one there. Instead, for now, we're only going to focus on all of the times that we make it to wave 310, 320, etc. And every single time we have a giant one like this one with 375,000 all dying right here. So boom, there we go. Now we officially made it to wave 310, as well as wave 320. On wave 323, we had a giant one spawning in, and this time dying right here still. But now we're 3 waves away from wave 330, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we already passed wave 330 as well. On wave 337, we have another one spawning with 540,000, finally making a little bit towards the Krusty Krabs over this way. But boom, now we also made it to wave 440, as well as wave 350. On wave 351, we had another giant one die over this way this time, so it's even making even slight more progress. And now we already passed wave 360. On wave 365, we have another giant dirty ball, finally almost passing the Krusty Krab this time with over 770,000 health on it. And now we're already 3 waves away from wave 370, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, there we go. Now we officially made it to wave 370 on the dot. And this time on wave 379, we have another giant one spawning with almost 900,000 health. Just like that, we already passed wave 380 though, as well as wave 390. On wave 393, we have our final giant dirty ball with over 1,000,000 health before we make it to wave 400, finally getting past the Krusty Krabs. But boom, at last we made it to wave 400. Nice. Yeah, I didn't expect to make it there already this quick, but I will definitely take it for sure. Oh my goodness, we might actually be able to pass wave 644. It's definitely going to be close, but I genuinely think it's going to be possible. Because this time on wave 407, we have another giant dirty ball, and it only gets over this way with over 1,000,000 health on it. And now we're already 2 waves away from wave 410, and 1 wave away. And boom, now we also made it to wave 410, as well as wave 420. On wave 421 though, we have another giant dirty ball with 1.6 million health dying right here though, which again isn't really far at all, so I feel like we could easily last for another 250 waves, if not more. I guess we'll find out shortly enough though. Now we already passed wave 430 though, and on wave 435 we have a giant one spawning in with 1.9 million health, and this time it's gonna die right over here. Yeah, basically in the exact same spot as the last one died. I mean, it barely even took a step or so, but now we're 3 waves away from wave 440, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, there we go. Now we officially made it to wave 440 on the dot. But bang, now we're also about to make it to wave 450 as soon as we check out this next one with 2.3 million health, which only really gets right about here. So not even quite to Patrick's house yet either, but boom, there we go. Now we made it past wave 450, as well as wave 460. On wave 463 though, we have another giant one with 2.7 million health, this time dying right over here. So a little bit in between Patrick's house and the intersection over this way. Now we pass wave 470. Finally on wave 477, we have another giant one with 3.3 million health, and this time this one's gonna make it to the intersection right die in the dead center of it too. Speaking of 2, now we're 2 waves away from wave 480, and 1 wave away, and boom, there we go. Now we officially made it to wave 480. Now we already passed wave 490 as well, and we have another giant dirty ball finally reaching over 4 million health. And this one's also going to make it somewhat far, but it's still going to die fairly easily over this way this time. Now we're officially 5 waves away from wave 500 though. And now we're only 4 waves away. And 3 waves away, 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, just like that, we officially made it to wave 500, meaning there's roughly only 100 waves to go, and so this is officially better than the exotic. Yeah, I genuinely didn't expect this to be as close as it's being right now for sure. Let me know what you think is going to win down in the comments before it does end up winning, because I'm very curious to see what you guys think is going to win. Anyway, I think for the remainder of this video, I think I'm only going to strictly commentate over every single time it does spawn in and where it actually dies. So for example, the hero goes on wave 505 with 4.8 million health, and this time this one's gonna die a lot further than last time over this way. Finally by wave 519 we have a second one with 5.7 million health, and this one didn't even get slowed until right over this way, but now it's down to 3 million health, 2 million, 1, and dang, it's even gonna pass this corner, this time dying over this way. Wow. By wave 533, we have another one reaching over 6.9 million health, and now it's down to 4 million where it died last time, 3 million over this way, 2 million a little bit further than that, 1 million past the intersection, and this time it's gonna die well over this way, right over here. Yeah, at least we are still able to take it out, and now we basically have only 100 waves to go until we are on wave 644. Finally on wave 547 though, we have another one reaching over 8 million health this time, but even this one's not really gonna make it too far at all. I mean, it's still gonna be within the Sleepy and Gary range for sure. As yeah, this time it's gonna die well over this way, right over here. Here we go with another one on wave 561 though, with almost 10 million health. And yep, as always, this one should be possible to defeat, as now it's down to 8 million, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And yep, GG's over this way. Wow, we're still able to normally defeat every single giant dirty bubble. That is crazy good. I feel like at this point we were at least down to around 70 health, if not less. But yeah, I guess we'll just continue on. By wave 575, we have another one almost reaching 12 million health. And we already did get it below 10 million health, but it's not even going to get slowed for the longest time ever this time around. Yeah, it finally started getting slowed all the way over here, and now it's down to 8 million, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, And nice, we're even able to still defeat this one normally. On wave 589 though, we have another one reaching over 14 million health. And I think finally this is going to be the wave where we start taking damage, or at least that's my guess. I mean, 12 million health over this way is absolutely no joke whatsoever. And even the big slow anchovies are also making it super far too. Luckily it's below 10 million health, 5 million health over here, and yeah, just like that, it's outside the range of being slow, so now it's going to be going max speed with 3 million health, 2 million, come on, tell me we can get it, it's down to 1 million, come on, so close, yes, no, yes, we got it! Oh my goodness, wait, we actually somehow didn't take any damage on that wave. Wait, that was so close though. Jeez, bro, oh my goodness, it literally got to the Krusty Krab. I thought we were for sure gonna take damage, but I guess not still. That was so lucky. Anyway, now we're officially 5 waves away from wave 600. And now we're only 4 waves away, and 3 waves away, 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, wave 600 on the dot with the team of secret units. Yeah, I think we actually might be able to tank enough of these dirty bubbles in order to actually beat wave 60 or 644. But I guess only time will tell. Here comes giant dirty bubble number 1 though, that we are definitely not going to be able to tank with 17 million health on it. As yeah, this was not even getting slowed until all the way over this way this time. And unfortunately, our units aren't even focusing on the big slow anchovies, which kind of sucks. Because yeah, obviously we're not going to be able to defeat the giant dirty bubble, but we should still be able to defeat all the big slow anchovies just barely. As yeah, there goes the dirty bubble, and yep, luckily we should still be good to get all these just barely. In fact, yeah, wait, no! Oh, dang it. Bro, I think that sold our run. Yeah, we're down to 15 health, meaning the next dirty bubble to spawn in is gonna make us lose. Alright, here we go. We have another giant dirty bubble spawning in, I'm pretty sure on wave 617. So yeah, there it is, right then and there. 20 million health on the clock. We still haven't even defeated the medium-sized dirty bubble, that of which is, wait, where even is it? Wait, what? Okay, well, I guess we did end up taking it out, but yeah, now we've big slow anchovies making it back this way. So I don't even think we're gonna die to the giant dirty bubble. I think we're just dead to all these slow anchovies making it all the way over this way. Because yeah, look, some of them are actually gonna stop getting slow just right then and there, and yeah, most of them are still going max speed. Actually, nope, never mind. We are still going to die to the giant dirty bubble. So here we go. On wave 617, we finally ended up losing right then and there. Wow, though. 52 minutes played, 1.5 billion damage done in total, 616 waves beaten. Yeah, what a close game for sure. Here's the final leaderboard. We have Exotics in first place with 644 waves beaten. Second place goes to Secrets with 616. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for this video. I have a feeling if we use slightly higher level spongehenges and basically every single secret that we brought, or if they had sidekick on them too, these secrets definitely would have been able to take the victory. Either way, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm trying to upload at least 3 to 5 times on this channel a week now too. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to hit 25,000 subs on this channel. So yeah, I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video very soon. Peace out, everybody.